Good morning, class 10 students. I welcome you all on this online platform provided by Jagrati Classes. Now today we are beginning with a new chapter of your 10th syllabus, that is chapter 10th of Science, Light, Reflection and Refraction. And according to the latest prescribed syllabus of 2021 session, no kind of topic is being deleted. That is, you have to read this complete chapter. And this complete chapter is in turn very interesting, okay, and it is very easy. But yes, it is lengthy because it carries two major topics, reflection and refraction. But then the fact is that reflection you all have read in your junior classes and you are continuously reading this term reflection in your classes. So this is very easy. And then you have the topic of refraction. So then yes, refraction might be a new topic, but then it is very easy. It is in very short form, given in a very precise manner. So let's begin our today's class with the topic reflection. And before this, you have the name of the chapter, light. So what is light? If I want you, or if you try to define light, then how would you define it? So light is basically a form of energy, a kind of energy. And using this form of energy, we are able to see the objects, the things around us. So light is that form of energy which enables you, it illuminates the object, and so that by this illumination we can see the objects or the things present around us. Okay, so this gives you a definition of light. Now moving on to the next term. So firstly, how we'll be studying this chapter. I gave you what do you mean by the term light, okay? No one would ask you in exam, from examination point of view, no one would ask what is light, define light. But then you have reflection and refraction. So reflection is basically what? We have to study what do you mean by reflection, okay? And then we'll be studying the reflection, all the topics related to this term, and then we'll be moving for refraction. And the image given in your books, this image is of refraction. So firstly, we'll be seeing what do you mean by reflection term. Then we'll be dealing with laws of reflection. So I hope you have read it in your junior classes. You have 2 laws of reflection. Then we'll be seeing from which reflection occurs. That is, we'll be dealing with mirrors. Mirror is what? Mirror is any smooth polished surface which has the capacity or ability for reflection, for showing reflection. So we'll be studying about mirror. In this, we'll be studying 2 types of mirror. Or okay, I'll be writing just the topic, that is, we'll be dealing with types of mirror. Then we'll be seeing the uses of these mirrors. Then the next topic is, after doing the types of mirror and uses of the mirror, we'll be seeing image formation by the mirrors. Okay, image formation by mirrors. And between these, when we start mirror and types of mirror, we'll be doing some important terms or definition of some important terms which the mirror has. So this would be our last topic when we do mirrors, that is image formation of mirrors. In this, you have to actually learn how to draw ray diagrams. That is, when you are given position of object, then you have to make the ray diagrams and then you have to decide the position of image. So this all we'll be doing. I would be telling you how you can make, what is the meaning of these ray diagrams, how these are constructed. So in this way, we'll be doing with mirrors, and then we'll be moving on to the lenses. And after lenses, we'll be doing the topic refraction through a glass slab. In lenses also, we'll be doing, what do you have? Some important formulas. For mirror, you have mirror formula and magnification. Same you have for lenses, that is lens formula and magnification. Then you have some small topics. One is how to find the power of lens. What do you mean by the power of combination of lens? Power of combination, magnification of lens combination, everything we'll be dealing. So let's start our today's class finally and start with the topic of reflection, okay? So see, what do you mean by reflection? The image in front of you, this image is related with reflection, or this is not related. This shows you what is the phenomenon of reflection? So we have to just name some new terms. So you have a beam of light which is coming from a torch. You have a torch here. So the torch here would be known as source of light. Okay, we are dealing with light, reflection of light and refraction of light. So this torch is called as the source of light from which the light emerges out. Now this torch throws a light, and the light ray, we know light always travels in the form of rays. So this light ray which comes from the source, this is named as incident ray. And if we make a diagram, then the direction of incident ray is this. The arrow represents the direction. Remember, in this chapter, you have to signify the directions using the arrows. Or else, whenever you will make the ray diagrams or anything, if you forgot to mention the direction, that is these arrows, then you will lose your marks. So, this is the direction, and the light which is coming from the source of light to the mirror. You have a very thin mirror here. So this light is known as incident ray. Now when this light is struck on to the surface of the mirror, this mirror reflects or bounces back the light in the same medium. So the light which is reflected back, this is called reflected ray. And now can you draw here what would be the direction of reflected ray? Okay, now you can check. The direction of reflected ray would be this. So this arrow shows you the direction of reflected ray, whereas this arrow shows you the direction of incident ray. Incident ray which comes from the source. Then after striking the mirror, the light bounces back, and this bouncing back of the ray is called reflected ray. Now what we draw is, we draw a perpendicular line which is called normal. Okay, I hope it is visible. Here normal is written. So we draw a perpendicular line which is perpendicular to the mirror. Perpendicular means, let's consider this is the mirror. Then you draw a straight line which makes an angle 90 degree with the mirror. And this straight line which makes a right angle or 90 degree with the mirror is called as normal ray. Okay, so normal ray which is perpendicular to the mirror, which makes an angle 90 degree with the mirror. And then the angle between this normal ray and the incidence ray, the angle between incident ray and the normal ray, this is called angle of incidence. And the angle formed between the normal ray, that is starting from here, and the reflected ray, this angle is called angle of reflection. So now we'll be starting with the terms, that is the theoretical definitions. So the first comes reflection. What do you understand by this phenomena? So if I write down the definition of reflection, we can say the process of reflection is the process of bouncing back of light into the same medium or into the initial medium after striking any smooth polished surface. Smooth polished surface means mirror. So the process of bouncing back of light into the same medium after striking with any smooth polished surface, that is, you can take a mirror here. So this phenomenon is called reflection of light. Okay, the important term here is that the light bounces back into the same medium. This is very important, after striking with any mirror. So this process is called as reflection. Now if we try to draw reflection, okay, before drawing I already told you the diagram. So we'll be continuing with some important terms. Then you have incident ray. Incident ray, the beam of light or the ray of light. The beam or ray of light which is coming from the source to the mirror. This ray is called incident ray. what I wrote is, incident ray is the beam of light coming from the source to the mirror. If you see in the previous diagram, this is your incident ray. So incident ray is the beam of light which is coming from the source, the torch, to the mirror. So this makes the definition of incident. Now in the similar manner, if we try to define reflected ray is the beam of light or ray of light which comes from the mirror and goes into the same medium. So let's write the definition of reflected ray. Reflected ray is the beam of light which comes from the mirror after getting reflected. It is the beam of light which gets reflected from the mirror and then it comes into the same medium. Now what do you mean by same medium? Let us consider I took a mirror here. This is my mirror. And on the surface of this mirror, let's suppose I took a mirror in my hand. Then the surrounding medium is what? Air. So I have air as the surrounding medium. Below the mirror also, above the mirror also, let's consider my hand, the palm of my hand to be mirror. Then surrounding this mirror, you have the medium to be air. That is the gaseous medium or the air medium. So above also you have air, below also you have air only. So we say that this air is the medium which is surrounding the mirror in this case. So everywhere around the mirror, the medium is same air. And hence we say that when the light ray is coming from the air medium, so this one would be the incident ray. This is the incident ray. And then when it gets reflected from the mirror, then it goes back into the same medium. That is, it came from the air and after reflection it went back into the air itself. This kind of phenomena is called reflection. This is the basic difference in the two terms which we will be seeing. The next topic which we will be dealing after few classes would be refraction, as the name of the chapter suggests. So in this refraction, the medium would change, okay? It means in reflection, the medium remains same, whereas talking about refraction, here the important would be the change in the medium. So remember here why I am focusing on reflection, that the bouncing back of light into the same medium. Okay, this is the reason. Because you have to study one more phenomena, refraction, and it would involve a change in medium. But here, when the incident ray came, after reflection from the mirror, it bounces back into the same medium. This ray is called reflected ray. And then what you do is, see both these rays, they meet at one common point on the mirror. From this point, if you draw a straight line, which is making an angle 90 degree with the mirror. So the straight line would be in this manner, okay, from the common point itself. So this straight line which is perpendicular to the mirror, it is known as normal ray. And this makes our fourth definition. That is, what do you mean by the term normal ray? So normal ray is what? A imaginary beam of light which comes from the mirror after getting reflected, okay? So we were on the topic normal ray. Normal ray is an imaginary line or imaginary ray. Okay, it is drawn between incident and reflected ray, that you can easily see. So we'll be writing in short. Normal ray is an imaginary ray which makes an angle of 90 degree with the mirror. So normal ray is also called a perpendicular to the mirror. This sign denotes the sign of perpendicular. And perpendicular means the angle of 90 degree. Okay? So normal ray is an imaginary ray which is present between the incident and reflected ray, and it makes an angle 90 degree with the mirror. Now we are saying two important terms, that is the angle present between incident ray and the normal ray. This is called angle I, that is angle of incidence. And the angle present between reflected ray and normal, this angle is called angle R. So you have two kinds of angle, angle I and angle R. So we'll be defining both the terms. So now it would be angle of incidence. And these definitions are very important. You should know how to define the terms, what terms are present when you are dealing with the, okay, these are mirrors. So these are the basic concepts which you need to be clarified with in your minds. Therefore, I am focusing on these in the introductory class of the chapter. So how would you define the angle of incidence? Angle of incidence is the angle which is present between which two rays? This angle is present between incident ray and the normal ray. So angle of incidence is the angle present between incident ray, and it is present between incident ray and normal ray or normal. Whereas angle of reflection would be the angle present between normal ray, you can see from the diagram, and reflected ray. So in this manner we will define angle of reflection, that is it is the angle which is present between the normal ray and the reflected ray. Okay. Now this angle of incidence, it is denoted by the symbol small I, and this is denoted by the symbol small r. So angle of incidence angle I and angle of reflection angle r. Now the next terms which we can define, or now a new topic which you have to study, it is laws of reflection. So this is again a question can come, define reflection and give the laws of reflection. So here you have to study two laws of reflection. Okay. The first law is, you have to know the statement of the first law. So it states that the incident ray, normal ray, and the reflected ray, all the three rays which you have in the diagram, incident ray, okay, I hope this is clear, incident ray, normal ray and the reflected ray, all these rays, they lie in the same plane. So this is the first law of reflection, that is the incident ray, normal ray and reflected ray, they lie in the same plane. What do you mean by the word plane? If we try to understand this, you can even learn the law itself, but I want you to clear all your concepts, because we are studying science and science carries all the scientific reasons and logics. So plane means a figure which is enclosed by two axes. That is, I hope you have done in maths, you have x and y axis, okay, and then even you have done that you have a minus x axis and a minus y axis here also. So these are the four types of axes, and this is called as Cartesian plane. This whole figure which denotes the axis present, these are called Cartesian plane. So here we are only understanding what do you mean by plane. So plane is what? How many planes, if I ask you, you can have here? See, if I ask you the region under xy axis, so in these xy axis you have this figure, okay, this region. So this area or region is called the xy plane. And when we are dealing with the mirrors, a mirror is like x, minus x and plus x axis. So you can say that this is the mirror. So above this mirror you have the area which you can say this is one plane, and below the mirror also you have a next plane. So these are the two kinds of planes. So you can see that whenever reflection occurs, in the reflection the incident ray comes and the reflected ray and the normal. All these three rays are drawn in the same plane and these are not drawn below. So plane means, I hope you understood, the area between two axes. So if I consider my two axes minus x and plus x, then the area, it divides the area into two planes, above plane and below plane. And all these three rays, incident, normal and reflected, these are present in the same plane. All these are present in the above part and these are not present below. So this is the meaning of the word plane. And now I hope you understood the first law of reflection, which says that all the three rays are present in the same plane. Okay. Now talking about the second law of reflection. The second law is again very interesting. It states that the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. In mathematical terms, if you want to write this law, then it would be angle I is equal to angle R. So this is the simple second law, that angle of reflection is always equal to angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Or you can say angle of reflection is always equal to angle of incidence. It's one and the same thing, that is both these angles are equal to each other. So this completes your two laws, okay? I hope you are finding the topics interesting in this chapter. So I told you the two laws. What do you mean by the term light? Then what do you understand by the terms reflection? Then some diagrammatic representation of reflection. This is the diagrammatic representation. Then we discussed what do you mean by the incident ray, normal ray, reflected ray, and both these angles. And if I say you to define mirror, mirror is what? Any smooth polished surface capable of reflection. So we discussed all the important terms. Okay, after all these terms, what we'll start next is, I told you mirror, so I'll be writing the definition of mirror again. Mirror is any smooth, polished surface capable of reflection. In this way you can define. Then we'll be doing types of mirror. So the types of mirror can be classified into two broad categories. The first one is plane mirror. And the next comes spherical mirror. From the name itself, it is clear enough. Plane mirror means the shape of the mirror would be plane, and spherical means the shape of the mirror would be spherical. That is, spherical mirrors. Plane mirrors are what? Those mirrors which are or which have a smooth planar surface. And spherical mirrors, if you try to define, these are those mirrors which are a part of sphere. So in this manner you can define plane and spherical mirrors. Plane mirror, it could be like in the horizontal plane or in the vertical plane. Talking about spherical mirrors, I told you spherical mirrors, these mirrors which are assumed to be a part of sphere. Okay, sphere is what? This. If this is a sphere made up of glass, and if I am considering this is a hollow sphere, hollow means khokhla, okay? So this is a hollow sphere, and if I cut this sphere from here, then this portion which I'll be getting, so I'll be getting this portion and this portion would be a spherical mirror. Spherical mirror is that mirror which is considered to be a part of sphere. So spherical mirrors can have many shapes. Okay, these all are parts of the mirror. If I if I cut the sphere into different designs, I would obtain different shapes of mirror, and all these are known as spherical mirrors. Now what you have to read is, we have to read what are the characteristics of image which are formed by plane mirrors. Generally in our homes, the mirrors which are used as dressing mirrors, these are generally plane mirrors. And for understanding spherical, we'll be doing that. Okay. So firstly, we are talking or focusing on this topic, plane mirror. Plane mirror which have a smooth planar surface. Mirror has a smooth polished surface. Plane means it has a plane surface. It is not curved. It has a straight surface, you can say. Then you have to read an important question which is generally asked. Properties of image. You have to know the properties of image formed by plane mirror. So now let's see. You all have seen the mirrors in your homes, which are the dressing mirrors. So I told you plane mirrors. The common example for plane mirror is the dressing mirror. So now we look at the mirror at least once or twice in a day. We look ourselves in the mirror. Okay, at least I am saying. So what are the properties of the image which is formed? When we look ourselves in the plane mirror, then you see your image inside the mirror. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Object means the person who is looking. And inside the mirror, we see ourselves. So that ourselves which we see inside the mirror, it is the image. So now you have to study the properties. So the first property here would be the size of object is equal to the size of image. And this question frequently comes in examination, that lists the properties of image formed by a plane mirror. That is, what kind of an image is formed by plane mirror. So the first is the size of object is equal to the size of image. Let's suppose this is my object, okay? My stylus, this pen is the object. And here I have a mirror. So the size of object and the size of image which is formed inside the mirror, they would be equal. If I see the image of this pen, then the image would be just similar to this object. So let's suppose I have a candle here. And this is my plane mirror. And then this is the object which I have. And inside the mirror, I would get the image. So the image would be same as the object. If I have a large candle, large image would be formed. If I take a small candle, small image would be formed. I hope this is clear. Size of the object and image is equal. Then the next is the distance of the object from the mirror is equal to the distance of image from the mirror. What do you understand by this point? Let's see. If I placed my object at a distance of 5 centimeter from the mirror, okay? This is the mirror. My hand is working as a mirror, and this is the object, the candle which I have. So if I kept this object at this distance, that is at 5 centimeter, then the image would also be formed at 5 centimeter. But if I keep this object at 10 centimeters from the mirror, then the image which is formed, it would also move 10 centimeter from the mirror. So if I take a distance of 5 centimeter, so the image will also have a distance of 5 centimeter. So we say distance of object from the mirror. Distance of object from the mirror is what? It is 5 centimeter. So the distance of image from the mirror will also be 5 centimeter. So this is the second property of the image. The first one was size of the object is equal to size of image. Then we say distance of object from mirror and distance of image from the mirror is equal. Or you can also write that the image is formed. It is also written that image is formed as far behind in the mirror as the object is kept in front of it. Okay, so this is the statement which I gave you in a simple language. That is, the image is formed as far behind in the mirror as the object is in front of it. Jitna dur you will have the object, utni hi distance pe the image would be formed. So this is in the simple language that distance of object is equal to distance of image. Then the third property is what? The third property is, in the mirror, you can say the left appears. Okay, this property is in fact asked in the form of question. That is, you see a phenomena of lateral inversion whenever you observe an image formed by a plane mirror. So what do you mean by lateral inversion? Lateral inversion means the left of the object, the left side of the object, left side of object appears right and right side of the object appears left and right appears left. Okay, so this is the meaning of the term lateral inversion. And fourth, you can say that size of the object and shape of the object also remains same. Object and image remains same. That is, if you take a triangular object, then the image would also be triangular. The image of triangular object would not appear circular. So this is, shape of the object remains same, size of the object remains same, distance of object from the mirror and image from the mirror remains same, and the fourth one is lateral inversion. This property is very important. Lateral inversion means whenever if you try that if we bring a book, okay, in the front of mirror, then the book appears to be written in, the alphabets appear to be written in reversed manner. So this is what you have the term lateral inversion, that left appears right and right appears left in the mirror. Okay, so these are the properties, and you are asked, write the question comes, write 4 properties of the image formed by plane mirror. So you have to write all the 4 properties. So now I hope this is clear. We have done with the topic, what do you understand by the term light? Then we have discussed what are the different, what is mirror, what is light. Then we discussed what do you mean by the phenomena of reflection, and what are the 2 laws of reflection. These are very important. And if you are asked the diagrammatic representation of reflection, you have to make this diagram with a mirror with the 3 rays and 2 different angles of reflection and incidence angle. Then we defined some important terms. I hope it is clear. Incident, reflected ray, normal ray. And then you have 2 different kinds of angles, angle of incidence, angle of reflection. And I told you the meaning of both the laws you have to learn. These are asked in examinations, okay, the laws of reflection. Then we discussed that you can classify the mirror into 2 kinds, plane mirror. Plane mirror I told you, spherical I defined with you. And then I told you the properties of image. There are 4 properties of image which is formed by plane mirror. So I hope the properties are really very simple and you can learn them. So with next we'll be starting with spherical mirrors, and I'll be dealing with spherical mirrors. We'll not be discussing the definition, okay? You should remember spherical mirrors are those mirrors which are a part of sphere. I explained you. Then we'll be discussing the different types of spherical mirrors. So you have to study 2 different kinds. One is concave, one is convex. So we'll be studying the properties of concave mirror, convex mirror. And then we'll be studying the general definition of some important terms which are related with spherical mirrors. Then we'll be seeing a comparative account of spherical mirrors, concave and convex. And after that, we'll be moving on to the further topics. So till then, this was an introductory class. I hope you are finding this topic very interesting. And in the next class, we'll be starting with spherical mirrors. Thank you for joining today's class. If you have any sort of queries or doubts, you can contact us anytime. Thank you.